Hey MW, it's Melissa.
And Stephanie Carcache, two sisters and the founders of Millennial Women.
And your host of Millennial Women Talk. It's time for some inspirational insights on thoughts and methods that we personally use in our everyday lives.
The thing we love most about these conversations is the fact that we get to grow through this life together. Did you catch that? Growth is our main priority in our lives, and we love that we get the opportunity to share with you what we've been actually doing in our lives and putting to work, and it's actually working.
Yes. So here we go. Today's topic of conversation is going to be about the 5 tips to flipping the switch for a positive mindset. Your mind can either make you or break you. Strong in your mind and strong in your faith. Those are 2 key quotes that our mother instilled in us as children. But one thing is for sure, it's easier said than done.
Totally easier said than done.
Yes.
But today we're going to share our go-to tips for when we start to experience thoughts that leave us in a bad mood and with a negative mindset. So let's get started. Here are our 5 tips to flipping the switch for a positive mindset no matter what. Number 1, accept that your mindset is what is keeping you from experiencing the life that you want. And this is really big because when we think about the life that we want, our mindset is really what determines if we get it or not.
Absolutely.
So our mindset and perspective in any given situation or circumstance is what is going to determine the outcome we experience. If we are experiencing unhappiness in our lives or any negativity, we first have to acknowledge and accept that our mindsets might not be aligned in that moment with our best interests and decide that we want to change it. So first, look within yourself. No outside person or source is to blame for how you feel. And how many times do we want to blame other people? It's so easy
all the time
to blame somebody or that situation or just luck for whatever it is that we're experiencing. But it's really important. It has nothing to do with them and all about you. So analyze where you are and begin to make a list of which areas of your life you want to improve. Be realistic. Change doesn't happen overnight, so you're going to have good and bad days, but have grace and a lot of patience for yourself because we're human and mistakes are just inevitable.
Yes. Number 2, become aware of where your focus is on and get practical. Another huge one. I feel like all our steps are really big today.
All of them.
When you are feeling negative, what exactly are you thinking about? Do you often know what you're thinking about? Because I can. Well, maybe not all the time. I try to. We are sure that when we start to feel negative emotions, 9 times out of 10, we are focusing on worst case scenarios, the what ifs, the scary stuff that all boil down to an ingrained belief that we may have based out of fear. You guys, the problem with this is that when we focus on the fear, we completely disregard our faith because fear and faith cannot coexist. It's one or the other. In any given situation or circumstance, we can fixate on the fear so badly, which I've done so many times, it's terrible for you, that it will make us feel a false sense of safety, but experience negative emotions. Or we can focus on faith and all the amazing things that could happen in that situation or circumstance, perspective, guys, which will naturally bring on positive emotions. Get practical with your thoughts. If your focus is on the negative, your body will, of course, naturally experience the negative emotions. If your focus is on the positive perspective, one that is fueled by faith, guess what? Your body will instantly begin to change and feel happier. Yeah. Guys, it's super simple. Begin by paying close attention to the thoughts and words entering your mind and change them on the spot. It's really hard in the beginning to do this, and you probably won't believe it at first, but over time and with practice, you will.
Number 3, pay attention to what you are consuming. And this is so good because we are always consuming. Even when you think you're not and you're sleeping, your subconscious mind is like picking up, I don't know, the crickets outside of your window. So we are always consuming. So you have to ask yourself, what is my mind consuming? Whether it be through the news, the books we read, or movies we see, to social media content, the songs we listen to, or even the people that we are constantly talking to.
Yes.
If you are investing time and energy into consuming any form of content, you must be getting something out of it in return. If your return on investment, because it is an investment in yourself, is more negative thoughts and emotions, it's time to move on. All of this plays a huge role in our mindset and subconscious beliefs that we pick up without even knowing it. Start by paying attention to what you are consuming and take action. Follow accounts on social media that inspire you and that is positive. Stay away from negative narratives or stories that don't align. So turn off that news if that is really affecting you with what you know to be true in your heart. So all these things that you're consuming has to feel good And if it doesn't, you need to change it. Limit the conversations with others who engage in negativity and seek out people who add to your growth. And we know that sometimes it's inevitable. You have people that you have to, work with, or family members that you don't necessarily align with, but try to limit it, or just have the knowledge of like, hey, this conversation, don't let it affect you. You already know what you're dealing with in that situation. So
exactly,
it's not going to affect me. I'm not going to let it go through. So be conscious of that. We have the power to curate every aspect of our lives to align with our purpose, and we also have the responsibility to take action in protecting our minds. So curate your life and protect your mind.
Number 4, create a daily routine that supports your growth. Humans thrive off of routines. That's just a fact, because it gives us the stability and the security that we so often crave. You can create a routine that supports your growth and that makes you feel good. The amazing thing is that the routine that you create is unique to you. So whether that be to start your morning with a prayer or gratitude, which I love to do, or a run, which I try to do, to having a slower morning, simply enjoying your cup of coffee, which Steph loves to do.
That's my thing.
We have the power to incorporate certain daily routines that support our mindset and lead us to live a fulfilled life.
Yeah.
You know what is so amazing, you guys? That there is no right or wrong way of doing life. There just isn't. Because if not, we would all be born with a manual and we'll be able to check on the chapter to understand what is going on in my life right now.
There's no manual.
No manual. So guess what? There's no right or wrong way. You're doing it all right, okay? And you're not doing it wrong. If you love to watch the sunset, for example, then make it a point to add that into your daily routine. We all have the ability to create each day however we like. So make sure to incorporate the things that make you happy.
And number 5, rely on the facts.
Oh, yeah.
So Mel and I are women of faith, and we believe that God is always for you and never against you. Believing in a higher power allows ourselves to feel the peace within, knowing that something bigger is always working in our favor, although we might not see it at times, which is, honestly, it's a lot of times.
Yeah. It is a lot of times.
More times than we want. But just that simple fact that we know that something higher is working in our behalf really does give you peace. So our minds can sometimes be limited in wanting to always be in control. But if we surrender our fears, worries, and doubts, we can rest knowing that everything will always work out in the end. So right now, if you're feeling sad, impatient, frustrated, in a situation that you might be in, know without a doubt that this is all a part of the plan, and find comfort in that simple fact.
We hope that these practical tips help you change your mindset today so that you will begin taking steps to living a beautiful and fulfilled life.
If you enjoyed this episode, leave us a review and subscribe to our show. This helps us to bring you inspirational and resourceful content every single week.
And don't forget to follow us over on Instagram at We Are Millennial Women to continue on with the conversation.
Always remember to keep being the strong, amazing woman that you are, and never forget to live inspired.
Until next time.
Always love,
Melissa
and Stephanie Carcache.